prints money?
No, it's like this guy that's observing that the government, whenever it has like, debts, just prints money.
Okay.
So he gets this idea that, well, I'm just going to print money too to pay off all my IOUs.
Okay.
But then he says Uncle Sam didn't like it, so he turned my green to blues.
Green to blues. Okay, nice. I like
He's going to pay
that.
his IOUs, turns his into green to blue. No, it's clever. But we can do like an MTV thing. So once we have like this really good version of it,
Right.
we can just lip sync it in different settings. Here in the store, playing the guitars to it.
Right,
You can
right.
act like you're the singer.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
And then we can do some animation, like we get this Uncle Sam character running around,
Okay.
where we can go anywhere and do little parts of it, just like you know what I mean. They just
Yeah.
play the song,
Yeah.
but then you're in different settings, actually looking like you're doing
Yeah.
it throughout
Yeah.
the song.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we can kind of intersperse that. Now,
Right.
if this song, if it's something that we want to use as a theme, we can do that
Right.
in the future. That'll be like a theme song. Or we can use it here and there, just, in a specialized way here and there.
Okay.
If we don't want it for the theme.
Right. Okay.
At some point, though, I
I
think,
mean, it'd be cool to get it to be our theme,
Yeah,
because then it's an
works.
original song to be our
Right.
theme song,
Yeah.
and plus it relates to relates to our business.
well, one part of it, yeah. I mean, the part about people buying gold and silver and why they're buying gold and silver.
Right.
I mean, it nails it. You'll hear it. When you hear the whole thing, you'll see it really nails that whole idea.
All right. Awesome.
But the other part of our business, like, diamond trade and buying gold and this item, it's not so much about that.
No, that's fine. I mean, I think, with the name of our store, Doylestown Gold, the whole thing, I mean, the gold and silver, and, I think that'll become, the tough thing is to interview our customers that are buying gold and silver, because it's personal, and they don't want to know who's buying. They don't want to be seen. They don't want to be seen.
Yeah.
But people that come here and start to follow it, we talk about it a lot,
Yeah.
so it'll be cool to have the theme song as another way to carry what we do. Because we can do jewelry, we can have people buying diamonds, we can show that stuff so people will get that. But through the music and our discussion, it's going to be really how we talk about the investment in gold portion of it. Plus, it's a little bit like the movie I just saw, Fight Club.
Okay.
Fight Club. I love it.
Yeah.
Fight Club. I never knew what it was about. Can't believe it. I
And
love it.
now that you thought about it for a couple of days, how would you put it in a nutshell, what it's about?
Basically the big banks creating debt or the debt, or how did he say? Basically a reset is what he wanted to do. Blow up the banks. There has to be a reset of the monetary system. I think is what. I mean, I watched bits and pieces of it. I didn't get the whole thing. Now I'm going to watch the whole thing through. Because at the end he's standing there and all the bank buildings blow up.
Yeah.
And that's it. So it's a reset, which basically is where we are. Like these people today that were in here. That was, discussion completely went way different to them wanting to start buying gold and silver. But that's 1999. That's 15 years ago. So that's so far ahead of what 99% of the people that are buying thought of. You were buying a long time, other people, but that's a
People
small.
weren't listening, really.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, as soon as we were taken off the gold standard, people started screaming about it.
Right.
But they were totally unheard because all the media and the government was saying, well, the gold is finished. It's archaic, But once we went off the gold standard, then our currency started getting devalued. And there was a few individuals here and there that understood that.
Right.
But their voices just weren't being heard. And now I guess it's getting to a point where their voices are being heard, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
That's like the irony of it. It's
Right.
like more people now, to me, know about it that don't, are like kind of shrugging their shoulders and saying that's the way it is, but they're doing it out in plain daylight, all the fraud,
Right. Right.
Devaluing the dollar, sucking all the wealth out of the system, and, basically impoverishing what used to be the middle class.
Yeah.
And that's how the mechanism works. So, I mean, people know about it, but I don't know what can be the ultimate solution for it.
Right. And I think this week might be the beginning of this run, because it hit 1,300. Yellen spoke. Nothing changed. And there's talking about pulling back, which should help to strengthen the dollar. But it's like, you know what? They're talking 20 trillion debt now. So now we went from 8 to 12 to 16 to 17 to 20 in 4 years. And I think once people start seeing that, that's what they were saying today. So, but I think that's what that Fight Club, to think back that was 15 years ago, That writer,
That was the message.
that was the message. I had no idea
Yeah.
that was the message.
Yeah.
Fight Club fighting back against the establishment.
Yeah.
Basically resetting it, getting rid of it, getting rid of the banks, getting rid of all that, and starting over, which I think is a pretty heavy message. I just can't believe I never knew.
Well, that's because everybody has been anesthetized with easy credit.
Yeah.
That kept everybody kind of docile because they could just keep getting more things, keep writing it off in the credit system, but ultimately the credit system's coming back to strangle everybody.
Right.
And the ones that are getting strangled the most is the middle class and the lower class, because it's like now the percentage of the haves is getting smaller and smaller, but they have more and more, and the percentage of the have-nots is getting bigger and bigger.
Right.
So it's like up to the middle class, the upper middle class, and it keeps rising through the population.
Yeah.
So,
It's scary. Yeah, because that's getting larger. The middle class is shrinking, and it's becoming just two-tiered now.
Yeah.
Have it and don't have it. I might have a little bit more than the person below me, but I don't have it. So that's just like almost a two-class system, and it's crazy.
But for me, the thing that's clearly the most frustrating is that these big, powerful money players, clearly, drastically break laws and wind up just walking away with a slap on the wrist. Like for some of these banks, a $20 million fine is a slap on the wrist compared to the fact that they made $80 to $100 billion on the fraud.
Right.
However, if any individual on the lower tiers, at the bottom of the chain, do anything even minuscule in that direction, they're off to jail.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what the song's about.
All right.
Can't wait to hear it.
At Doylestown Gold Exchange and Jewelers, we buy gold, silver, diamonds, and coins. With a graduate gemologist on staff, we also sell diamond engagement rings and fine jewelry at prices that are right for you. Learn more at doylestowngoldexchange.com.